If you've got an asylum case pending with USCIS, then you need to watch this video because I'm going to share with you common interview mistakes that can really hurt your case. I saw these problems over and over again when I was an asylum officer with USCIS. And listen, I want you to be aware of them so that they don't trip you up when it's time for you to explain your case. I'm going to tell you about 15 common asylum interview mistakes, things that people do that really annoy the asylum officer, which can hurt their case. I'm Brian Manning, and I used to be an asylum officer with the government, but now, as an asylum lawyer, well, I help immigrants all over the country to secure their future in America through asylum. Let me know in the comments if you've got an asylum case pending, or maybe you're considering applying. And listen, I'd especially like to hear from you if you've been waiting for an asylum interview with USCIS for multiple years. Listen, winning asylum is not easy. Your asylum interview with USCIS is going to be tough, and you need to do everything in your power to make it go as smoothly as possible and to give yourself every possible advantage. So the last thing you want to do is antagonize or annoy the asylum officer in whose hands your fate lies. Here's a list of 15 common mistakes that I saw when I was a USCIS asylum officer. Avoid these to give yourself the best possible chance for asylum success. Number 1, trying to control or dominate the interview. You've just got to accept that you're not in charge. Asylum officers are taught to take control, so they bristle when someone comes in with a commandeering attitude. You see, you've simply got to accept that the officer will take the interview where they want it to go. It's tough, I know, but don't push back against this, okay? All right, number 2, dressing inappropriately or sloppily for your interview. Your appearance matters, and it influences the impression that you make. So you don't need to wear a suit or something super formal, but do put on clean, presentable clothes that show that you take this seriously. Look respectable to communicate that you respect the officer and the process. All right, number 3, guessing the answers to questions that you're unsure about. If you truly don't know something, well, just say, I don't know, or I don't remember. Okay? Don't make things up or state something as fact that you're unsure about. But listen, if you think you might know, then you can qualify it by saying, well, I think it was, or to the best of my recollection. All right, number 4, letting the difficult questions or the process fluster you, such that you have trouble communicating with the officer. These interviews can be emotional and frustrating, but you can't let that get to you. If you're overcome with emotion, well, ask for a short break to collect yourself. Do your best to stay calm and composed throughout, even if the officer is gruff or things aren't going as you'd like. Number 5, being dishonest or trying to misrepresent anything. Listen, honesty is always the best policy, both because it's simply the right thing to do and because asylum officers are trained to spot deception. Even a lie that you think is minor can hurt your credibility in the officer's eyes. So be completely truthful and don't try to mislead, even by omission. Number 6, losing focus during a long interview. Interviews often last for hours, and later on, it's easy to get tired and stop thinking carefully about each question. But listen, every question matters, so you must stay sharp the whole way through. Bring snacks and water and take breaks when you need to, and continually refocus your mind. By the way, if you want to maximize your chances for asylum success, then be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you don't miss the insights that I share on this channel. All right, we're ready for number 7, relying too heavily on written documents instead of your testimony. The interview is the most important part of your case. Officers want to hear your story in your own words and not have you rely on things from your application materials. So be ready to fully explain your case verbally. Don't say things like, well, as you know from my documents, or, well, as I explained in my declaration. Asylum officers hate that. Pretend the documents don't even exist and assume the officer has not read them. Okay, number 8, interrupting the asylum officer when they're speaking. So always let the officer finish their question or statement before you start talking. Listen carefully to the full question. Cutting them off is disrespectful and can make you seem evasive, like you're jumping to answer without hearing the whole query. Wait until they're done, pause briefly to think, and then just respond. All right, number 9, arguing with the officer. If an asylum officer makes a statement that you disagree with, or maybe characterizes something in a way that seems wrong to you, listen, don't get into an argument, okay? Respectfully explain your perspective, but don't get confrontational. Fighting with the officer will only make them dislike you. Next up, number 10, refusing to answer questions that make you uncomfortable. I know it's hard to talk about painful experiences, but you have to. If you refuse to discuss certain topics that the officer asks about, well, they'll assume that you're trying to hide something. If you truly can't talk about a subject without breaking down, ask for a break, but listen, you must ultimately answer their questions. All right, number 11, giving vague, inconsistent, or implausible answers. Your testimony needs to be detailed, consistent, and plausible. Don't gloss over important facts or give unclear or conflicting information. Vague, muddled, or far-fetched testimony will be fatal to your case. You've got to study your declaration ahead of time and give concrete, detailed answers. Okay, number 12, speaking too quickly or unclearly for the officer to understand you. Take your time and speak clearly. Pause between thoughts. Don't mumble or talk too fast. You see, if the officer can't understand what you're saying, well, nothing else matters. If you need an interpreter, use one. If you're not sure that the officer understood something you said, ask them. Also, be prepared to pause after saying just a sentence or two. You see, the officer will ask you to do this because they'll be taking notes and they need time to catch their typing up to what's being said. All right, we're at number 13, being disrespectful or combative toward the officer. Always be polite and respectful, even if you feel the officer is not treating you well. Getting upset or hostile will only make things worse. No matter what, stay calm and composed. Remember, this person has your future in their hands. So be courteous, even in the face of rudeness. And just ask to take a quick break if you need to regain your composure. All right, number 14, refusing to provide additional details or clarify when asked. If the officer asks you to expand on something, don't resist. If they say that they don't understand something, well, don't just repeat the exact same thing. Rather, find a new way to explain it. Always be willing to offer more information and explanation to help the officer fully understand your case. And finally, number 15, failing to make eye contact or using defensive body language. Make regular, natural eye contact to show that you're engaged, honest, and have nothing to hide. Don't cross your arms or slouch or turn away, as this makes you seem closed off and guarded. Sit up straight and communicate openness. Your body language matters. If you're ready to take the next step and get help with your asylum case, then call my office today. That number is 713-909-0401. And remember, we help people all over the country, so it doesn't matter where you live. Call us right now to schedule an asylum strategy session so that we can help you secure your future in America through asylum. Again, I'm Brian Manning, and it's an honor to serve you in your asylum journey.